Every heel speaks its own dialect of elegance. The height changes the message. A modest lift whispers refinement, making the stride smooth and graceful. A mid-height heel says balance, elegance without excess, grace without strain. And the towering stiletto? That is drama. That is power. That is the art of walking turned into choreography. Each step deliberate, each glance from the crowd inevitable. Behind every pair is craftsmanship, a delicate balance of art and engineering. The curve of the arch must be exact. The heel must hold weight while giving the illusion of air. The vamp must hug the foot. The seams must vanish into perfection. In the hands of a master shoemaker, leather becomes sculpture. Satin catches light in all the right places. Crystals scatter into rainbows with every movement. Some heels are bold, dripping with metallic gold or wrapped in velvet. Others are understated, relying on flawless lines and proportion to speak their elegance. The beauty is in the details that often go unseen, yet are always felt by the woman wearing them. The sound of a heel on polished floors has its own poetry. In the ballrooms of the past, it was a mark of refinement, a rhythm that blended with music, a soft percussion announcing presence. Today, that sound carries from boardrooms to boulevards, from galleries to candlelit restaurants. The click of a heel is part of its charm, an audible reminder that style can be heard as well as seen. Heels have walked through history's greatest moments. Marilyn Monroe's white stilettos under that famous windblown dress. Princess Diana's jewel-toned pumps that evolved with her independence. Sarah Jessica Parker's Manolo Blahniks, turning sex and the city into a love letter to shoes. Red carpet moments where the heel is not just part of the outfit but the story itself. Jennifer Lopez's crystal-covered showstoppers. Beyoncé's towering tour platforms. Lady Gaga's impossible heights. These shoes do more than carry a person. They carry an era, a feeling, an unforgettable scene. But the beauty of heels is not only in grand occasions. They are chameleons, fitting into every part of modern life. Morning meetings in modest pumps, afternoons in elegant mid-heels, evenings in glittering stilettos. The same woman can move from the calm authority of the office to the sparkle of a rooftop dinner without changing more than her shoes. The heel transforms her energy, her rhythm, her presence. They have adapted through the seasons. Spring brings soft pastels, floral embroidery, open silhouettes that feel like sunlight. Summer calls for metallic straps that catch the day's warmth and hold it into the night. Autumn returns with deep jewel tones, rich suedes, and shapes that echo the turning leaves. Winter demands drama, black patent shine, velvet depth, crystal sparkle under festive lights. And still, beyond the aesthetic, there is the psychological lift. The moment the heel is fastened, something changes. Shoulders square, chin rises, eyes sharpen. This is not imagination, it is enclothed cognition, the science of how clothing changes our state of mind. In heels, a woman becomes more than she was a moment ago, or perhaps more of who she always was. Across cultures, heels have taken many forms. The towering Chopins of Renaissance Venice, the wooden geta of Japan, the bathhouse nalins of the Ottoman Empire, the elevated sandals of ancient Egypt. Each had its purpose, its place, its moment in history. Today's heels carry that legacy, reinvented with every season, every designer, every woman who chooses to step into them. The materials tell their own stories. Leather that molds to the foot like a second skin. Patent finishes that catch the eye from across the room. Suede that darkens with the touch of a hand. Satin stretched across curves like a ribbon of light. Exotic skins that whisper rarity. And now, sustainable innovations, vegan leathers from plants, recycled fabrics that prove. There is a moment just before the first step, when the world seems to hold its breath. The heel touches the ground, the arch curves, and the body tilts into perfect poise. It's more than walking, it's an arrival. In that single instant, a woman's presence changes. Heels do something that flats never can. They lift not only the body but the spirit. They speak a language without words, a whisper of confidence, an invitation to be noticed, an unspoken promise of elegance. Heels are not just shoes. They are architecture for the body, performance for the soul, and history stitched into every seam. They lengthen the leg, sharpen the posture, and transform even the simplest dress into a statement of sophistication. Whether slender and sky-high or softly modest, each heel carries with it a story, one that begins centuries ago, far from today's glossy magazines and glowing runways. Their earliest steps were taken not for style, but for purpose. In 15th century Persia, soldiers wore heels to secure their feet in stirrups, giving them better control while riding into battle. This practical idea traveled across continents, reaching the courts of Europe. And there, in palaces lit by golden chandeliers, heels began a new chapter. They became symbols of privilege and power. The higher the heel, the higher the status. Louis XIV of France famously favored heels with bright red soles, a color reserved for nobility, turning his shoes into emblems of authority. They weren't designed for comfort. They were made to be seen, admired, and envied. Over time, men stepped out of them, and heels found a permanent home in women's wardrobes. They evolved from tools of status to instruments of style, reshaped to flatter the foot, to lift the ankle, to sculpt the silhouette. By the 19th century, heels had become distinctly feminine, marking a shift from courtly grandeur to personal expression. The modern heel was born, part history, part craft, entirely allure.